I don't know the name of the artist, but Jack Quaid's character in this movie was definitely inspired by the Smallville theme song. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, checking out my videos, let me introduce myself. Hey, how's it going? My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek. And I always say the things that I love to talk about here on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I mostly like to talk about fantasy, superhero, action, horror movies, sci-fi. But of course, I like to also talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Become one of my Safe Gayveneers, which is what I call my followers here on the channel. Help me hit 10,100 subscribers. I just recently passed 10,000. Now I'm at like 10,070. So I'm 30 away from hitting 10,100. So let's continue to grow the channel. And you can also help me grow the channel if you're coming across this video, whether you're subscribed or not subscribed, hitting that like button. Please hit that like button. No matter how many views I get on this video, hit that like button. Even if I get only 100 views, then I should have 100 likes, because it tells YouTube that this video is worth getting out there. This channel is worth getting out there to recommend to other people so more eyes can come across the channel. So with that said, guys, I have just recently had the opportunity to go to an early screener for Novocaine starring Jack Quaid. And also with that, guys, I am unveiling or plan on unveiling a Patreon. I believe it will go live on Monday. So like behind the scenes footage, or if you want a one-on-one conversation with me for a half an hour or an hour, then there's a tier for that. We can talk about whatever you want within reason. Again, Patreon, not OnlyFans. But if you want to talk about comics or how I got into this or advice or whatever, there's a Patreon tier for that. So anyway, with that said, so I did go to the screening for that. And so I did capture some footage behind the scenes a little bit, but I went to this movie thinking it was gonna be trash, like Love Hurts. Love Hurts, I absolutely did not like it. You can see my link up there in the description. But I went out of the movie. It wasn't Love Hurts, so let's talk about it. So Novocaine, again starring Jack Quaid, it says, when the girl of his dreams get kidnapped, a man turns his inability to feel pain into an unexpected advantage as he fights a bunch of thugs to get her back. And when I saw the trailer for this movie, like, it looked interesting, but I felt like this movie was just based on the gimmick of a guy that can't feel pain, and it was just gonna be a movie just filled with a bunch of gags and gore just because he can't feel pain. And while there was some of that in this movie, I gotta say, like, I really enjoyed this movie because they really delved into the character, Jack Quaid's character. Why am I drawing a blank? It's like something Kane. Like his last name is Kane, hence Novocaine, Nathan Kane. And so, like, I really like that this movie was more than just the gimmick of him not being able to feel pain. They actually went into his character, and also, like, because I think this is an actual real condition, and they showed like that, because some people be like, oh, this will be cool, like I can't feel pain, this would be great, like, and they also showed in this movie like why having something like this would actually be a bad thing, because you also think about the idea of like our bladder, like we get alerted by signals in our brain that we have to go to the bathroom. It's not really a pain signal, but it is kinda. So for him, he has to set an alarm on his watch every couple of hours, because if he doesn't, his bladder could potentially explode because he doesn't know he has to go to the bathroom. He doesn't get those signals. Or and this isn't like, I'm not gonna go full spoilers, but I'm just giving you examples of why, like, things that they did in this movie that I found was really interesting with like building his character and why you wouldn't want to have this genetic disorder. But like, he also can't eat solid food because if, God forbid, he were to bite his tongue or potentially bite his tongue off, he would never know. And so because of that, everything that he eats has to be juiced. And I was just like, wow, that's actually really interesting and a concept that I never thought about. And so that's the thing about this movie. Like, they go into things that beyond just the gimmick, and then they also really dive into they actually make him a character, not just a caricature. But also, most importantly, this movie is an action movie. They're selling it on the gimmick of, because he can't feel pain, he's gonna go and fight these bank robbers. And I gotta say, the action in this movie was pretty good. The action in this movie was believable as well, because Jack Quaid's character, Nathan Kane, he was just an assistant bank manager. Him going and being, meting out vigilante justice against bank robbers, he wasn't an expert. He's never shot a gun before. He's never really been in a fight before, because throughout his life, he's tried to avoid all of those type of conflicts, because also with his genetic disorder or whatever, they mentioned like his parents, the doctors, they gave him a life expectancy of like 25 or something like that, but he wanted to prove that he's going to live beyond that. And so he did. He proved, and he's an older he's an older character. He made it past his expected life expectancy. But the way they did the action sequences, like, it was fun. And there's certain moments where you're just like, that would be painful. Like, there's one moment where he sticks his hand in some boiling grease, and just in moments, if you ever cooked with grease, just getting a little pop on your body, you know how that feels. So like, when even though he couldn't feel it, we as the audience felt it. We're just like, oh man. And so they did a great job in doing that, where it's like letting the audience get the empathy and like feeling, like, even with the sound, like where things are happening, like the sizzling of the grease, you're just like, oh my God, like, I know how that feels. So like, granted, like, again, he can't feel it, but God, and the whole idea, like, blood, sex, gore, and magic. Again, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of gore in this movie, and it was fun. Like, I enjoyed it. And even though there was a lot of gratuitous violence once you got into the action part of the movie, like, it still was like a full-on character movie. Like, this movie didn't just be like, okay, now we're just gonna focus on the action. Like, they still focused on Jack Quaid as a character, and Nathan Kane as a character, his relationship with Amber Midthunder, who, if you guys have seen the Hulu series Prey, she's the love interest in this movie. And then also you got what's his name? The guy that played Ned Leeds, Peter Parker's best friend in Spider-Man, Jacob Batalon. He's also a friend. Again, they really dive into the relationships in this movie through these ridiculous circumstances. Like, this movie did a really good job of elevating it and making it more than just the gimmick of a guy who can't feel pain. Now, with that said though, because I'm like, while watching the movie, I was just like, I'm feeling more chemistry between Jack Quaid's character and Jacob Batalon's character. Like, I'm like, could this be a little gay? I'm like, I feel like this would work better than him and the girl. Now, with that said, I will say there's a certain character moment that happens at the end of this movie that I wasn't a fan of. Something happens with Amber Midthunder, Sherry, at the end, and with Jack Quaid's character and her, and I was just like, absolutely not. Like, no. I don't like this. Now, that doesn't mean from a movie perspective, it's just something I didn't like. I was like, no, but whatever. It is what it is. But overall, I had fun watching this movie. I would totally watch this movie again. And honestly, like, if they did a sequel, I'd watch it. So yeah, Jack Quaid did a great job of being the #1 in the call sheet as the leading man in this movie. I thought he was endearing. I thought he was fun. I thought he did a great job. And this movie overall was fun. Now, I will say that there's a certain last 20 minutes of the movie that I felt like they could have cut. I felt like the movie ran a little long. I was just like, wait a minute, like, we're still going? But even with the parts that they added, I was like, it was still interesting. It's still fun, but they could have cut that last action sequence out. But overall, Novocaine is definitely worth checking out. But the question is, it comes out next week in theaters on the 14th. So definitely recommend checking it out. So once you check out Novocaine, come back here. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you interested in seeing Novocaine? Let me know all your thoughts. Like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm. Guys, also, like I said, be on the lookout for my Patreon unveiling potentially on Monday. I'm still working things out. But also, with that said, what is currently live is I do have a Discord, BlackGayComicGeek, the Safe Gayven Discord. You can see the link in the description box below. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically like a chat app where there's different channels where you could talk about all different topics and things like that with my community with me, as well as like texting me personally. Like, so there's a channel for just spoiler discussions for certain shows. There's a channel for a general chat. If you want to talk about your favorite queer ships, there's a channel for that. Favorite black movies, there's a channel for that. MCU, DCU, non-superhero related movies, there's chats for all of it. So join my Discord. Hopefully you check out the Patreon, you enjoy the Patreon. But with that said, even if you just want to support the free content, I thank you for that. So like, share, comment, interact for the algorithm. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. Hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.